This is things you might ought to know. Fun stuff for today, and the day happens to be Thursday, November 7th, 2024. We are talking about the hangover from the election. If you're with us live, we just wrapped up the things you might not have heard segment, that part, that show, which is the news stuff from yesterday. This is fun stuff that goes along with it, some things to lighten up the day. And because of that hangover, we've got something great for you: booze. And that's what we're celebrating today, and a special two for today because we might need a little extra. So you might want to hang on for today's edition. You may want to just zone out. You may have popped in and say, "What the hell is this thing?" Trust me, you want to stick around for the celebrations for today. Definitely good times. But it's also a great day to celebrate with birthdays, going through history lessons, and the two things we're celebrating. Today is one of my favorite days, literally, of the year because I love this woman right here. Celebrating Joni Mitchell, the awesome Joni Mitchell, who is turning 81 years old on this November the 7th. Did I not say that? Oh, it's Thursday, November the 7th, just in case I didn't say that part, 2024. On this day, Joni Mitchell was born, bringing us a great music, a great legacy, a great songbooks, great portfolio, great collaborations, great personality, and someone that when she is gone, oh, we don't know what we got when she's gone. So coming out in the last couple of years after being a recluse for so long and not having great health, and performing a few years back, just surprising people that she was going to do it. People falling in love with her again, people going back to nostalgia. And for whatever reason, I literally cannot tell you, I am so in love with Big Yellow Taxi that it is. I can't tell you why it is. I guess simple metaphors that no one can deny and I understand is what it is. Joni Mitchell, love the woman, love her so much, and she's 81 years old today. I also love Christopher Knight, Peter Brady, who's 67 years old today and has done essentially nothing but be Peter Brady all his life. In fact, being Peter Brady on reality shows where he as marries other reality people that he meets at shows, being Peter Brady. I'm not sure what Christopher Knight actually does other than Peter Brady, but hey, if it works, it works. If you don't know who Peter Brady is and have no idea who Christopher Knight is, kids, Google him. He's kind of a big deal. A big deal to you youngins is be Lorde, who is 28 years old today. Now, she was a really big deal a few years back when the Kansas City Royals was contending for a World Series championship, and her song Royals was out there. So they made her a honorary royal, even though she said she would never be a royal. Way too much exposition on the day, but that's what today's birthday trio brings out to me. And that's what Joni Mitchell does because, gosh darn it, I love some Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell turning 81, Christopher Knight 67, and Lorde turning 28 today. Happy birthday to that trio of awesome folks. Trio of news stories for the day. Things that happen on this day. It's all presidential, starting off with Franklin Delano Roosevelt winning his unprecedented fourth term in office, defeating Thomas E. Dewey in 2000. Thomas E. Dewey. I'm reading the next number. So that happened in 1944 after the passing of Franklin Roosevelt, and just that time honor where they realized, having the same guy being in charge of the country for over a decade might be not such a great thing for a generation. Sure, George Washington just sort of stepped down after 8, but what stops anyone else? Well, they changed the law so that it stopped them. Only 2 terms. So now at this point, Donald J. Trump, by technicality, can only be president for another 4 years. But although maybe he can run again and get for 2 consecutives, we don't really know. He may try it. He may be president for life. We'll see what Project 2025 does for us. Now, in 2000, Republican George W. Bush II, was elected president over incumbent Democratic Vice President Al Gore, though Gore won the popular vote by a narrow margin. The winner was not known for more than a month, if you remember, because of Florida and hanging chads. And former Vice President Joe Biden was declared the winner of the 2020 election race 4 days after the election on this day. So election day was 4 days prior, 4 years ago, happening on the actual 3rd. But on this day, after some counting, some hang rashing, some gnashing of teeth, some little spouting back and forth, it was decided that Joe Biden actually won the election. Let's move on to the word of the day. The word of the day is a very simple one. And with Wicked being in the news, Wicked coming out in a few weeks, 22nd, I believe, the word gale, such as Dorothy Gale, is sort of there. And it goes along with it. It's a play on words of the character. Although there is no Dorothy in this movie, It is inspired by the book, The Wizard of Oz, the original book that had Dorothy flying in her house or a tornado, landing on the Wicked Witch to the west, and then Glinda the Good Witch sort of guiding her through what's going on. But this is not about Wicked, although the Wicked hate is great because people are getting more clicks. This is about the word gale. It's a simple four-letter word, and it means a very strong wind, per said. The sailors braced themselves as the gale roared across the ocean, threatening to overturn their vessel. Gale is your word for the day. Try to use it in some sort of semblance. It's a fairly simple word. If you got rain or wind, the gale is pretty much there. Go to our website, Big Words You Ought to Know, or go to the website, or the Big Words Project, and look for our books, Big Words You Ought to Know. Those books, proceeds those books actually go to Arkansas Reading. So people who read better than I do, or hopefully read better than I can here, buy those books. But learn more big words, because I'm about big words, even as I stumble across them daily. Let's move on to our daily affirmation. As we are trying to try to get some sort of clearance, as we were expecting a rough, long week of counting votes and gnashing teeth and going back and forth. So all the things that we dealt with for this week's affirmations are dealing with basically finding some peace. Today's affirmation, no different. My mind is clear of self-doubt, and I'm ready to embrace every challenge. We did not know who our actual president would be for the United States. We did not expect to know that. It actually went down pretty quickly, and by all cases, a landslide victory in the Electoral College and a popular vote victory for Donald Trump, who will now be Trump 45 and 47. So we're moving on with that one. But we didn't know how the stress would be going forward, as we assumed there'd be a lot of going back and forth. So that's why this thing's here. So whether you still have election stress or just having regular stress, this one will enhance your stress management. It affirms that your mind is clear of any self-doubt and aids in stress management by fostering on a positive outlook, making you better equipped to handle the stressors with ease and confidence. That's what today's affirmation is about. Check out my book, 100 Daily Affirmations for Confidence and Positivity. You can find it on the Amazon as well. There's a link to this one in this presentation as well. We're going to celebrate double good times today, because on this 7th of November, we got two for you, a twofer. It is both Merlot Day and Stout Day. Every year on November 7th, International Merlot Day celebrates one of the world's most popular wines, red, of course. It's also a day to encourage those who have never had Merlot to give it a try. The word Merlot is thought to be a diminutive of Merle. Okay, so have a glass of Merle today. I'll call my friend Merle. Her name's not Merle. We just call it as a joke, and say, it's your day. Have a glass on me. Now, if you're more of a beer guy, International Stout Day is celebrated on the first Thursday in November every year. Stouts, developed by porters in the 1700s, have become some of the most beloved beers in many different nations. So beloved, in fact, that on November the 3rd in 2011, read it properly, stouts were given their recognition they deserve with the advent of the first International Stout Day. Like the name implies, stouts are typically strong and robust in flavor, and although they may be hard to chug, a stout is a perfect beer for sipping and savoring. If you want a slow roll with your beer, get a nice stout, because it will force you to take your time. Let's go to today's sponsor today. We're going to talk about the election. This is going to be not the last time, because we also have one more day on this week to do this, but we are promoting the Now What Network, nowwhat.network. That's how the website works. And the book that I wrote to promote it and sort of kind of get us some cleanse from the actual election fallout, whatever you call it at this point. The Now What Network Manifesto. This is a book that allows you to find ways to be involved in politics, even when the politics isn't so front in your face. When people aren't knocking on your door asking you to vote for people, how do you stay engaged in what's going on? And how do you keep those people, now they're not asking for stuff, now that they're in power, to actually do the stuff you've asked them to do? It's actually very simple. And there are 10 tactics in this book that will allow you to get to those places to show what you can do. Things like voting anyway. Anytime there's any election, vote in it so you know what's going on in whatever level of government you want to deal with. Making sure you show up for meetings and show up for info type hits where people are talking about what's going on. When people saying what their agenda is going to be, you show up. Even if it's the agenda you don't really like, you show up so you know what they're said, so you don't have to take it secondhand, third hand, or from your own research from some social media gathering. You know exactly what's said, so you can go back and forward that one. These 10 topics are very simple, and you'll wonder why that you haven't thought about them before. you actually have. They've just not been packaged this way. Very short read, very short, very distinct reading. And of course, it promotes the website, the nowwhat.network, or the Now What Network. And that website is a way for us to kind of gather together and talk up things going forward and stay organized to make sure that our elected officials stay accountable to us. Now, whether the elected official was actually the person you wanted to win and you want to make sure they do what they're doing, or they're not the person you want to win and you want to make sure they're going to not do as bad as hopefully they could. That's what this is all about. Check out the Now What Network at Manifesto. Check out my book and the website, nowwhat.network. But you can buy the book via Amazon.com. There are links inside the description of this video where you can check it out and get the book and help me out this as a sponsor. And of course, help yourself out in knowing what to do for your actual politics going forward. Because you may think that your politics is over now that the election is done. It ain't over. We also want you to help us out, particularly with the Conversation Project, by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the works we do. Like this video so that more people know that this is something worthy of checking out. When they see it come across their screen, they see a bunch of likes on it, a bunch of thumbs up, hearts, whatever the platform you're watching on. They will say, hey, let me check it out and see what's going on. Share it with other folks who you know will actually like this type of stuff. We provide news and other programs mostly, but this is kind of the break of the thing. I just can't quite get rid of the birthdays and the history lesson stuff. So I made it into a smaller bite-sized something to get people stuff. So you're not sitting here for 50 minutes for one full showing of one thing. So share this with people who enjoy things like birthdays and history lessons and fun things to celebrate as well. And subscribe to all of our things, all the things. Just subscribe to them all. Go to all the places. Go to our website. This is theconversationproject.com and find all the places we are and subscribe. Subscribe, hit notifications, make sure your buzzer goes off all day long. So when we give you stuff then, so you don't miss out on a thing. The last part's a bit of an exaggeration, but we do need more subscribers, do more people in the queue, more people sticking around with us. Our subscriber count right now is around 1,500 for the YouTube. That's basically our main gauge, whatever. We're losing a couple because I guess people are dying down from the actual election. We're not going to cry about that. It is what happens, but we want to make sure we're still building on our platform and growing. So help us grow, help us do that, and make sure you follow us on our feeds on Facebook and X so that you can allow us to put news in your head and you come back with the news you need to talk about. More explanation of that one in another video. But right now, we are long, so we're getting out of here for this Thursday, November the 7th, 2024. Get you a stout, get you some Merlot, get yourself some enjoyment. Enjoy yourself today and tomorrow and the weekend. You may have to hold off on that Merlot and that stout till tomorrow if you got a full work week to go through because, you don't want to overindulge. And we do know the winner of the main election, which is Donald Trump. So we have that answered. You may have some local races that are still ongoing, but if that's the case, maybe you do need some Merlot or a stout today. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your time. Send some love to Joni Mitchell and, of course, Peter Brady, because they deserve it. Lorde as well. We'll see you again with more fun stuff, more things you might ought to know for a Friday edition tomorrow.